I've walked around a couple miles, and up there is where my ridge comes out, above my gifting site. I've gotten some really good video and still pictures from here back when there was a lot of foliage. This is where the river ends up here. Little walkway down, little geyser there. But what I'm going to do here is, again, they normally follow me around to here, and that's where I get my video and pictures from. So we'll see how close they're going to come in with all the foliage. Again, I've talked to them a little bit when I first got here, but when the camera pops out, they go pretty quiet. Again, my mistake. Let them hear the playback once of some of the audio, some of the vocalizations we were having. Here is a really cool tree, a hobby horse for the kids. I have some really cool, one really cool picture right there by that tree from earlier in the year. So who knows? Just gonna kind of do a 360. I wanted to show you that tree. And then, if they're around, they're probably pretty close, the little guys especially. I can hear one of my juvies calling out behind me. You probably cannot hear it because of the water. Being out here in the woods really makes you in tune, or makes me in tune with everything that's going on around me here. I notice the slightest movement in foliage and vegetation. Small plane airport near here, so you probably hear the plane. I could tell you the differences in the sounds that are being made. I know the local wildlife, the local bird life, which they like to imitate a turkey up here, and where they hear that I don't know, because there's no turkeys right here in Western Washington, or in this area anyway. But one of my guys loves talking like a turkey, and then another like a bullfrog. And up here in January, there aren't any frogs, they're all hibernating. And I don't really notice that there's bullfrogs right in this area. I've never heard of bullfrog, other than my little buddy. I've never heard bullfrogs. Running water, I think they prefer lakes and swamp. Again, up there's my ridge. That's when I was taking the picture from up there down here to the water, when Jumper stuck his hand out and got it right in my picture. So I have the picture of his hand making a circle sign and the shoulder, which is really cool. Up this gully is where I believe they primarily live. And I've never went up that gully. I've never went up that gully for the plain, simple reason that I see no need in invading their space and stalking them. If they want to hang out, they'll come to me, and that's a proven fact. So I'm going to come on around here, and this will be a really short video. I didn't mean to cut off part 2 like that. I only planned on doing 2 parts. kind of a pizza. In the trees. I have a feeling they're up in that tree there. A few of the younger ones. So have a look-see. Always go with your feelings and your gut instincts, I say. It's all about what we feel, not necessarily what we see. One thing I haven't noticed is any infrasound today. So that could be a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe I haven't, or either not there, or I haven't put the camera on them, or they're finally content with me getting a couple pics and videos of the bigger guys without putting the old infrasound on me. We're just in a new area, and it looks like I found another nesting type structure here. It's in a, this is covering up a little gully in there. So that's not flat laying on the ground. I can't get any closer to really get in over there. I'm rarely on this trail, so I might be able to come and get a second video from the other side, but I doubt it. So anyway, it seems like pictures just don't tell the proper story. So I thought I'd just take a little short video so you can see where my little buddies are living here. We're hanging out at. I'm having a playpen for the kids. Who knows what? But back we go again to the structure. Again, it's a lot bigger than it looks because that's probably about 6 foot deep in there. This is such an enormous structure. I had to share it with you guys. It's a tree that's been bent, and it's not big around. It starts down here going into the ground, but what I want you to see is, here it goes. You can see it going through the middle of the picture here. It's going up through the debris, it's going up and coming down now. Now we're coming down to the live part of the tree. This tree is still alive, and they have brought it completely down to the forest floor. Now I'm going to show you, they've also got some mishmash in there. But now watch this. Now we're going to go along the bottom so you can see all the way from there to there where the tree's coming out of the ground. And again, up through. All the way up. How big is this tree? 60 feet, 70 feet? Pretty doggone awesome, wouldn't you think? Pretty doggone awesome.